Good evening, fellow aspiring programmers. In a world that is increasingly driven by innovation and technology, the ability to solve complex problems through coding has become an invaluable skill. Welcome to Decode, a session based on the programming fundamentals and addressing challenging programming exercises one step at a time, organized by the IEEE student branch of IIT in collaboration with IEEE Computer Society of IIT, IEEE Women in Engineering Affinity Group of IIT, and IEEE Robotics and Automation Society of IIT. Whether you are an amateur who's keen to dive into the world of programming or someone looking to solidify their understanding of programming, you are in the right place. My name is Ranug Anthony, and I'll be your host for today. Without further ado, let me introduce you to our esteemed speaker for today, Dilshara Hetti Arachchige, who's the founder and chief of learning solutions at STEMlink, a startup that provides learning solutions to numerous students across the country in the area of IT. He is also the immediate former secretary of the IEEE student branch of IIT and is currently a third-year undergraduate. The Q&A session will be towards the end of the session, so stay tuned till the end, where we will address all of your doubts. The Slido link is available to you now in the Zoom chat, so please feel free to drop in all of your questions. Without further delay, I now invite Dilshara to kick off the session. Dilshara, the stage is all yours.
Thank you, Ranga. Thank you for the brilliant introduction. I think I may not be that odd face for people who are here. Mostly, I just went through the community list over here, the participants. I have dealt with lots of participants over here, so I could remember some names as well. So hope I'm a familiar face for most of the people, but yeah, let's see how everything goes on. But before I move on, someone from the admin, can you all share the two polls? So can you all share the poll one by one so that I can get a clear idea on what they are expecting out of the session and everything? Yeah, so first of all, the preferred language. What do you all prefer? Is it Singlish or English? Okay, good. So why did y'all stop the poll though? Y'all could have kept it for some time. Ship, got an idea. Then can we go to the second poll? Right. So in a way, there's a foundation, first year, second year. Right. I'll end the ball. Okay. So in that case, without any further ado, let me start off the session. So today so I was invited to speak about uh, the programming aspect of IEEE student branch of IIT, which is organizing the IEEE Extreme, like they are organizing their own competition from their end, which is happening globally. So hope you all got an idea about what is IEEE Extreme, and I'm not going to go deep into that aspect, and I don't have much knowledge about the inside aspects of that as well. Okay, so straight away I'm going to speak about the programming aspect in regards to IEEE Extreme. So, right. Before I move on, as I said, I think I'm a familiar face for everyone, most of the people who are here, because you all have learned with me in the free sessions, which I conducted through STEMlink. So for the people who don't know me, so I'm the founder and a lecturer of STEMlink. I work as a software engineering intern at Cambio Software Engineering. I'm a front-end lead at Synapse Engineering, which is another company that we initiated with a different intention. And also, I'm the former secretary, as Ron was said, at the IEEE student branch of IIT. Okay, so let me straight away move on to the session flow. Before that, I'll introduce what Stemlink calls for people who don't have an idea. So yeah, this is the team who founded Stemlink with me. So they are the part of this Stemlink company. So we have guided more than 3,000 students in the education consultancy aspect. And I would say around 1,000 plus students are from IIT, which is a very proud thing for me. And also we would help the people, the undergraduates and people who are not undergraduates as well, to start learning and to go through their first internship process as well, from learning to internship. We are having a guidance to support them out with that. Right. So moving on to session 4. So first of all, I'm going to introduce the IEEE Extreme competition for coders. So why I mentioned coders, because I'm not going to speak about the like IEEE Extreme awareness aspect. I'm going to speak it from the coding aspect. And then I'm going to give an overview on types of problems that y'all may get in the competition, like what sort of questions that y'all may get to answer in the competition. And then I'm going to explain you what are the data structures and algorithms that should be used for the competition. And then I'm going to explain how to break down a complex problem into small chunks. And finally, I'm going to practically demo you how to work with the competition platform, right? So those are the things which I mainly wanted to focus in the today's session. So even if you are someone who's not planning to participate in the competition, or if you're someone who's having doubts regarding am I compatible enough to join for this sort of a competition, well, I got some answers for that as well. And also, the today's session is not like only about IEEE Extreme, but in a very general aspect, for y'all to be competitive programmers, for y'all to be get selected to uh, you know foreign job roles, Sri Lankan job roles, mainly for foreign job roles. If this aspect would be very important, I would be speaking about what are the most important things that y'all are supposed to know. So whatever that's relevant to Extreme, IEEE Extreme, or for other hackathons would also be relevant for you in the job industry as well. So don't try to converge the session to a aspect of, this is only about Extreme. No, it's not just about Extreme. It's about how you should plan your academics to get get hands-on with the concepts that I'm going to introduce you guys today. So I saw there are lots of first years here as well. So in reality, I would say, y'all may find this competition challenging, but then again, that is the exact footstep that y'all have to keep to understand, what y'all are really getting into. Because y'all may, whatever the challenges that y'all may face, whatever the questions or problems, programming problems that y'all may come up with, is only what is provided by the university, right? So what's provided by the university is something that is only relevant for your level, right? So if you are in level 4, they give the particular programming problems for your level, but that doesn't mean that that's the level that you should stand as a proper program. So once you go to Extreme, a competition, y'all may realize what y'all should actually what standard y'all should actually portray in order to be in the industry. So I think this would be a very great starter point for you guys. And then I saw there are second year students which who are in level 5. So level 5 people, y'all have already come through 1 year in this bachelor, right? And y'all have learned the essentials to kickstart programming. So y'all have to see IEEE Extreme as a competition to get an evaluation for yourself, how competitive am I? Competitive as in not in that competitive aspect. How my knowledge is competitive enough to solve the problems that have been given in the competition. Even the easiest question that y'all may get actually is not easy. Those problems take, for a beginner, it would take around, beginner as in I'm talking about a person who's having a good fundamental understanding about programming and who have solved some problems. That's the person that I'm trying to uh, rename as a beginner. So even that sort of a person would take around 30 to 45 minutes, maybe 1 hour to 1.5 hours to solve a one single problem. So you have to understand the fact that for the second years, this is a time for y'all to evaluate how competitive y'all are when it comes to the programming aspect. Right. So first of all, before we start speaking about IEEE Extreme, let me give you all an understanding about hackathons. Since there are lots of first years are here, let me explain you what happens in a hackathon. So hackathon is sort of a competition, where we would be either building software applications, we would be improving the software applications, we would be uh, building or debugging issues that are existing in a software application, or else we would be doing competitive programming where they would be given some problems and we are coming up with our own solutions through code. So any of these could be renamed as a hackathon. So there are different sort of hackathons, like open hackathons. So in open hackathons, you all can build a software. You may be given a timeline like 3 days to 2-3 weeks, and you all can build a complete software with any of the problem that y'all are coming up with. So y'all can come up with a new problem, like for the level 5 people, your second year group project in a similar manner. So for L4 people, if I'm saying, so it's about y'all come up with your own problem and then y'all try to solve that problem through a software. So when I say a software, it should have a front end, it should have a back end, and it should function as it's compatible for the business needs. When it comes to theme-based hackathons, then again, open hackathon becomes a theme. So let's say healthcare. So healthcare is a theme, so you all have to brainstorm in the field of healthcare. So corporate hackathons would be hackathons which are organized by companies. So those companies would be having their own unique issues, which are brought up by clients, and they expect you to, they take like sample 2-3 problems and they distribute among the teams. So y'all would be solving answers for the problems, or you all may be solving the problems that have been given by clients in real world. So those are corporate hackathons. And then again, those hackathons might be time based, like 12 hours to 24-hour hackathons it could be, or else they would give you like 2-3 weeks to solve the problem as well. And competitive programming hackathons, which IEEE is falling into. So this is a hackathon where they may give you like uh, a set of questions within a time limit, and sometimes they may not look like very practical, like it's not like a very business level requirement, but they are trying to come up with questions which have a more mathematical value. So if you all look into your A-level paper, the mathematics paper, more like none of those questions are real applications in the real world, right? But those questions are hard enough or tough enough to evaluate your understanding about a specific knowledge concept. So in the same way, in competitive programming hackathons, they would be problems to specifically assess your knowledge on a given set of concepts. So speaking about IEEE Extreme, it is something like that. So in IEEE Extreme also, I'll show you all, don't worry, I'll show you all how the problems and everything looks like, how does the interface looks like, and what sort of interface you all would be working in. I would show everything, but understand that this is a global competition that's happening, which is conducted by IEEE global body. And I think, according to my knowledge, I think maybe Sanduru has also mentioned this. This is the biggest hackathon that is happening in the IT world, right? So yeah, around 100 countries are competing. People from around 100 countries are competing in this particular competition. Okay, so first of all, let me, before I move on to the next slide, okay, before I move on to these types of problem, let me first of all give you all like a basic level of look what sort of interface that y'all are dealing with. Okay, so since y'all have not got to work with like a competition interface, I'll show y'all how to get like a mock view on what y'all are getting. So hope that y'all can see my screen now. Yeah, hope y'all can see it. So in this IEEE Extreme ORG, y'all can go to here and go scroll down, keep on scrolling down, and you can find this practice now place in the bottom. So for that, you can go there, and then it would take you to the CS Academy, something archive thing. So click that, and then y'all may get an opportunity to work with the past questions that they have given, right? So here, guys, so anyway, I'll be coming into this place by the end of the session again. But just to give a sneak peek, let's say, so they have put the level also here, easy, medium, likewise. And then here they are giving a hint on what sort of algorithms that you all should use to solve this problem. So it's about sorting, greedy algorithm, and dynamic programming. So you all have to come up with your own algorithm while you all are using greedy algorithm and sorting algorithms. So here it's about permutation and also greedy algorithm. Likewise, they give a sneak peek. So then what you all would be doing is you all can click. So this is how same the extreme competition would also look like. So here you all may get the question over here. First of all, they would give you idea about the question here. And then they would tell you how a standard input would look like, right? So, and they are going to give you all example also on how the input is going to look like. But here they are going to explain like first line contains 3 integers n, m, k. So that means 6, 6, 2. And then each of the next n lines contain m characters. So each of the n lines, so which means these lines. So you all have to understand this n and this n is equal, which means if it's showing 6 here, that means there are only 6 lines which are going down. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Until this point they are speaking, right? So each of the n lines contains m characters. Why I'm doing this? Because y'all may never have an idea. Once y'all see this n, m, k, and x, y, everything, y'all would may get fully confused. But actually, this is not magic. Okay, this is a very simple thing that any grade 5, grade 6 student also can understand if he can match the characters. Okay, so then for each of the next n lines, so according to our question, 6 lines contains m characters, which means again 6 characters. Either the dot o hash representing the matrix. So for this, you all may need a little bit of matrix knowledge. Matrix is not a very complex thing. I mean, the numbers are being ordered in multiple dimensions. Not ordered, but numbers are being listed in multiple dimensions. Each of the next k lines. So here our k is 2, which means it's talking about these two. K lines contains a pair of 2 integers, x and y. So 3 and 5 are x and y. And represent line column of the special cell. Standard output. So now they are talking about the output. So here's the input. So now they're talking about the output. So before the output, let me read the question. You are given a matrix of a size n times m. So now we all know that n times m because N downwards, M rightwards. M where an empty cell is represented by a dot, and a forbidden cell is represented by a hash. You also know that K of the empty cells are special. K of the empty cells, so that means empty cells are two of the empty cells are special. For each empty cell, you should compute the shortest distance to any special cell. You should consider the two cells adjacent if they share a common site. For the special cells, the computed value should be 0. So this is the question, right? A little bit mathematical, not that easy to understand in the first go. But what I want to tell you guys is, so here, this is the structure of how they provide you with questions. So here comes the question. Here comes the standard input. Here comes the standard output. And there are situations where you can't even understand the question, neither the standard input, neither the standard output. But if you all look into the input sometimes, you all may understand. So for this question, they have only given one input. But for some other questions, they may have given even 2-3 inputs and outputs. So by looking at the question and answer itself, you all can go back and forth and map, what sort of question that they have given you all to solve. So I will, in the below slides, I will start explaining, how you all can start solving a problem. But for now, just understand this side of the page. Now we are going to go to the right side of the page. So in the right side of the page, guys, you all have the coding interface, and then the input place, and then the output place. And there's this compilation and execution data, and then some examples also here, and then the submission. So let me tell about that as well. So guys, now they have given an input and output now. So what you all should do is you all should write the expected code in this place over here. So before you start coding, look on top and choose your comfortable language. I'll be talking about the language also in a little bit, in which language you prefer to code. But for now, just understand here you can switch from one language to another. Okay. So then you all can code whatever you expect to code in the particular, in this space. And before you, and after you write your code, make sure that, this is about giving an input and getting an output. So in your code, you should be able to read this input properly at the first place. That's coding 101. In a competition, you are not working with your own data. You are working with inputs that are being given by whom? That are being given by the question developers, right? So for you, you have been given with a single input. So you should put this input here, copy this, and you should paste this input here, and then you should try running this input. So you all may be thinking this is the answer for the code. No, this is the sample code that they have given for y'all to read this data over here. The people who have done Java, so the second years L5 people would know we use scanner class to take an input in Java, right? So they have given you that basic scanner class and shown you all the basic skeleton of how to print an input in the output, like a basic skeleton, right? If you just system out print A, you all may see that this 662 line would be printed. If I run this, so only 6 gets printed because it's the next int, not next line. But if you all take like next line, then the story is different. Okay, so they are only taking the single character over here, only this single character over here. If you all want to read a whole line, you all can use next line, even in Python. So you can, in Python, we don't have an inbuilt method like Java. So Java has their own scanner class to do streaming, data streaming. But in Python, Yes, we have the input method, but not very optimized. So they have given an own method, and here they have clearly told you all use this get number and get word methods to extract this data. So what you all should do is you all can see that they have used this get number method twice, and they have just done a simple addition, and they have shown you all some output. So what you all should be doing is try to print this get number and see what is the output. So first of all, because this input getting methodology, once you all figure it out, you all can use it for every other question. For every year, as I believe, they may be slightly changing this input taking mechanism. And then once you all figure out once, then you all are settled how the input is being taken always for the code. Then you all are set to go ahead with other questions as well. So when I run this input, if I use get number, it is only taking what? It's only taking this 2 over here. So if I remove this and run, now you may understand it would be taking word by word. It's taking only 6 here. Yeah. So if I use this get word method, so they have given another method called get word. So now if I run get word, so here if I run get word, it's still giving 6, which means it's taking one number by using these methods. So you all should figure out an intelligent mechanism to read these data completely and store it accordingly in your programming environment, right? So for the first years that I'm talking, if you guys can read this complete thing and store it properly in particular lists or dictionaries, that itself is a huge win for you guys. Okay, because that is something that even our age people would struggle to do once they are being given provided with this sort of a interface. So what I wanted to show you guys is one side what sort of a knowledge that you all should consume, and from the second side what I want to show you guys is, look, it's not about solving 10 problems, because please understand the engineers who have worked in the industry for 20 years also competing in this competition, right? So they may also have the opportunity to compete. So what will happen, these questions are being designed for all those people, to cater all those people. But for y'all as undergraduates, even solving a simple thing is a big win for you guys. So don't ever underestimate. What y'all should do is y'all should understand the gravity of the real world. That is one thing that y'all should see every time when y'all go through a question. Number two, y'all should inspire yourself to take small wins. Properly reading this input and printing it in the output itself is a huge win. That those are small wins that y'all need to get when y'all are working in this 24 hours in the competition. Y'all can talk to your seniors will also will be coding, so they would show you different methodologies to get those things done. So that is what you should be familiar with. So, and after y'all feel like y'all ran this input, and then let's say y'all wrote the code over here. Actually, y'all don't have to write the code over here. But one thing y'all can do is y'all can copy this whole thing and then go for your own IDE, and you can paste it. And there in the terminal, you can pass on these inputs and you can check for the output. And if the output 50 is coming, that doesn't mean that your work is over. You only tested your code with one set of data. Being a software engineer is not just about testing a one single input and getting the output, but you should have an idea, number one, on how to create more test data. So this is a one test data, right? So you should understand different methodologies of testing this code by having multiple sort of data, right? We can have correct data, we can have erroneous data, we can have edge data. So we can have different sort of data here, and we can try this question. and you all have to have the output also in your mind when you're testing, okay? Because you can't just test the input if you all don't know what's the output. So you all have to calculate that in a pen and a paper, and then expect whether that output is coming. Because once you press submit, what will happen is it would be checking your code with more than 10 to 15 solutions. So this is only a one single input. So, but once you all press submit, what will happen? It would be checking your code with 10 to 15, maybe 20 inputs, 20 different inputs. So your code should pass all those 20 different inputs. Then only you would get a tick for that specific question and you would get marks. Before you submit, what you can do is you can run examples. So after you get the correct input 50, what you should be do is actually you should click this run example button. So it would be running your code not only for these inputs, but for some other inputs that it has generated as well. So you can see whether all those example situations are also being passed. So then there's a very high probability, maybe 100% probability that your code is covering all the other probabilities as well. Then only you can submit your answer. So this is how y'all should work in the specific day. Right. Let me ask some questions. So do you all have any questions? What is the difference between Python 2 and Python 3? Python 2 came long ago and the new version of Python is Python 3. Okay. Hi, could you share the link for that? Yeah, I think a OC member, can you all share this? Okay, let me share it. So this is the link for you guys to access this specific place. So just go to,
Sorry, Dilshara, for interrupting you. So just a small update. So if you guys have any questions, just post it on the link that we have shared in the Zoom chat. Yeah, at the end
okay.
of the session, we'll have a Q&A and we'll answer all of your questions.
Okay, so if you all have any like that moment itself question, like let's say you all have to specifically ask it or point it out in this point. If you all feel that sort of a question, well, ask now. But asking links and those sort of things, you all can get it later. But if you all feel like, you all have a specific question to ask, like what is this STDERR, then you all can ask from then and there, so I can give you all some answers, right? Right. So this is about the working with the interface. So now I'm talking for L5 batch. I would highly suggest for you guys to go ahead with Java, not with Python. I don't know, this is my personal suggestion, but y'all can have your own interpretations when y'all are coding. But in my personal suggestion, you all know what is the difference between Python and Java. So Python is a very loosely coded language. So y'all are not strictly defining any data type. And y'all maybe end up looping through integers. That happens, right? In Python, let's say we have let's see a for loop. Is there any for loop? No. So let's say there's a integer, okay? And here there's integer like that data. Okay, let's have data one. Okay, this is an integer. We don't even type integer in Python, so it's just like this. Or else, let's say you created a list here, and now at some point by mistake, what will happen is you would equalize a integer to this data. Now what will happen? This data variable, this data one variable, would get converted from a list to integer. And somewhere down the code, what you would be doing is you would be writing a for loop. And you would be writing like for d in data one. And then you would be you'll be starting to loop through this data one, which is actually an integer. And your compiler would not tell a single word until you click this run button. So all the errors that y'all may encounter once y'all do these sort of mistakes would be coming in the runtime. And getting errors in the runtime, trust me, that is a very hectic thing. But getting the errors in the compile time, your IDE itself supports you, right? So in Java, you all know that if you all do a data type switching error, right? In Java, if you all do a data type switching error, let me see whether I have a, yeah, I have a small demo also. So let's say this is a string, this random alphabet variable is a string. And let's say for the random alphabet, next time I try to equalize a 5, I get an error. Okay. And it simply says the error even in a very vivid manner, and it gives you a solution as well. But the problem is in Python, your IDE does not know what the hell you are doing. It lets you do everything, and then end of the day, it's going to give you the error. So that is going to be a huge problem. And you would get that error in the runtime once you click the run button, not when you are coding live. So that is why I highly advise for you guys, second years, try to solve these problems through Java so that your code is strictly typed. So whatever the errors that you all may get here might be very logic errors or runtime override. So, if you get the code right in the compile time, there may be very less runtime errors because you all may not be using much inheritance or method overriding, overloading in the code. So you won't get much errors. So for the first years, what I'm telling is, since you all know a little bit of Python, try things out with Python. As I said, for you all to copy this thing and paste this thing and print the output here, all you need is the understanding about the input inbuilt method, and then for loop method and printing method. That is all y'all need. So just by a single day, y'all may be covering sometimes 2 to 3 days of the lecture. So therefore, get the best out of it. Don't ever neglect, don't stay at home. Why I'm stressing it? Because there's a lot to learn. Okay. So for first years, I may encourage you all to switch this to Python 3. Okay. Second years, code it from Java. My personal opinion, I don't know. There are others, third years who are in my age as well. Udara, Sandu, they are here. So you all may have different opinions, but this is my very personal level opinion. Okay. So if you all don't have any questions regarding the coding interface, I'll go back to the slides. Okay. So hope you all can see my slides now. Right. So type of problems that y'all would encounter. So y'all may encounter algorithms problems. These problems typically involve designing and implementing efficient algorithms to solve real-world problems. So here y'all may have to implement an algorithm by yourself other than the standard algorithms. So there are standard algorithms like greedy algorithm, graph algorithm, binary search, and all the sorting algorithms, searching algorithms. All these algorithms are existing. But here you have to come up with your own algorithm. So that's what we call dynamic algorithms. Even to get a number and print that number in the output, it's also an algorithm, guys. Okay, algorithm is not magic. It's simply solving a problem. To solve a problem, you write some code, and that code becomes an algorithm. So whoever solves a problem, you write an algorithm. Okay. So you all have to come up with your own algorithm to solve a specific level of problems. And then data structures. So you can't have algorithms if there's no place to store data, right? We run the algorithms on data, right? So to store data, we need data structures. The data is being stored in data structures. So this is a very misconception that most of the L5 students are having. I have spoken this in my object-oriented programming courses as well. So they are thinking data structures and algorithms is a single module. And data structures and algorithms both are same. No, that is not. They are not synonyms. They are not like words that are being used to make the module nicer. No. Data structures and algorithms are two complete different things. Data structures are what you store data efficient. Algorithms are what you run the algorithms are what you run on top of those data structures to perform certain tasks. Just keeping the data somewhere doesn't make any sense, right? You need to search, you need to sort, and you may need to find out, you may need to do different calculations maybe. So all those falls into algorithms. What you do on data is algorithms. Where do you store data? That is data structures. That is the difference between data structures and algorithms. So you may have to implement a efficient data structure to store data in the you all may get questions to efficiently store data and print those data as well. They may give you a very random set of data and they may tell you to, look here, this is the initial state of the data. We want you all to convert this data into this sort of a pattern. I think you all may have seen these sort of questions in your A-level mathematics as well, in applied maybe. So you all are given a huge question, and end of the day, you all have to show the expression in a certain way. Even for all levels, we have got this. We have to simplify the fraction or whatever, and we have to showcase it. Same way in data structures, we are getting a different sort of a data input in a very random manner, and they would tell you to structure it properly and print that structure. So that is about data structures. And then graph algorithms. So these are here what I meant by algorithms, your own dynamic algorithms. But here what I mean is graph algorithms. So you all may be getting problems which are unique to graph algorithms. So I would be speaking thoroughly about sorting algorithms, those sort of things as well. But for now, just understand you all may be getting questions from graph algorithms. So I'll be speaking about graphs later in the session. And then you all may get string algorithms. So you all may have to do different string manipulations and find out the answer. Let me show you all a simple example. Okay. Let's do something. Let's take something like this. So this is how a DNA string, this is a part of a DNA string. So I don't know people who knows about bioinformatics, you all may know. We can represent a DNA using these ATGC characters. Okay, that is our basically in like bioinformatics, we represent a DNA. So what we would be getting the question is, find the starting index and the ending index. So starting index means what is the starting position. So we start counting from, if we, let's say we start counting from 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Likewise. So starting index and the ending index of the largest AACGTTAG. So this is the pattern. So this pattern, so the index of the largest pattern. So let me find the starting index and the ending index of the largest blah 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 in the occurrence in a very regular pattern at one stretch. Occurrence, the string occurrence in a regular pattern at one stretch. So what they are trying to say is basically this string would present at specific locations in this particular huge string, and you may need to find it, but not only find it, you may need to find the occurrence of it in a regular pattern at one stretch. I just wanted to show you all the complexity of a problem, even though it sounds like simple. So if you all don't focus on this regular pattern at one stretch sort of scenarios, that means you all may not properly solve the problem. So what this problem is actually, so I took this problem from a real problem in that whatever the website I showed you all. Okay. So basically what they're trying to say, so this is what they're trying to say. So though this is not my phrasing, this is what they have phrased. By mistake, I have typed some ISO something, but this is how they phrased it. So then they give a input and they give output. And this is like my own interpretation to the question. So what they're trying to say is, so this is the pattern we need to find. This is the string that we need to find, but this string should be occurring in a regular pattern at one stretch, which means at some point of this huge string, let's say here, just take here. So here, this string may be present, okay? And then after another 4 characters, again it's present. After another some other characters, again it presents. And after another 4 characters, again it's present. So you all can see they have occurred in a specific portion of a string in the regular pattern at one stretch. And again, somewhere, again at another point, you may see this sort of a pattern. Again, the same string, but now there are like not 4, there are 8. And again this, again 8, and again this. But here at one stretch, there's only 3. But here's at one stretch, there's 4. So let's say this pattern is presenting somewhere around here. And this pattern is presenting somewhere around here. So then your answer should be the starting index of here and somewhere here. Not this, because in this pattern, there are only 3 occurrences. So hope y'all get the understanding of the complexity that they are going into. Not to scare y'all, but to give y'all understanding what sort of string algorithms questions that they might give you. So for now, before I move on to algorithms, I can give a pause, right? So I completed a good section. So Ranuga, we don't have to wait until the end of the Q&A. Like I can take up 2, 3, 4 Q&As that I have been provided with. Can you read out like any specific Q&As which are related to what we have done so far?
Yeah, 1 second.
Okay. Yeah, you can share the screen. And in participant questions, I'm not going to take up them. Is there an effect of the language that we use to program? Is it advantage to use low-level language, or guys, remember y'all are not using low-level language. I don't know who taught y'all that. Okay, y'all are not using low-level languages. If you're not thinking C++ is a low-level language, try me. Because low-level languages, C++ is like a sort of a in-between language with low-level programming and high-level programming. Like C++ do have some low-level things like memory management and all, garbage collection management, memory management, those sort of features. But then again, it do have some its own high-level features as well. So you're not coding in low-level languages. That's a very huge misconception most of the people are having. So doesn't matter high level. So high level Java is also a high level programming language. So your question should be not whether it's low level language or high level language. The question should be whether I should be coding in a strictly typed language or a loosely typed language. You should be coding in a strictly typed language if you want to save the time, because runtime errors takes a huge time to debug. But in the compile time, if a specific IDE shows you IDE as in IntelliJ shows you the compile time error, you can fix it there onwards. That's why I said to code in Java, not in Python. What are the strictly typed languages? Kotlin, TypeScript, Java, Go, all are strictly typed languages. Loosely typed languages, JavaScript and Python. Okay, we can tick that. We have the ability to resubmit the answers to a specific question, right? If we go wrong at the first attempt, we'll keep that for end. Sandra will answer. Can you recommend a good algorithm and data structures course for beginners who are preparing for coding competitions? You can't learn data structures and algorithms specifically for coding competitions, because it's not something like you can learn like you are learning Python. So learning data structures and algorithms would take මෙයා කියනවා කවුද රනිල් කියන්නේ මේක එකපාර කරන්න බෑ අවුරුද්දක් විතර යනවා කියලා. අන්න එයාගේ වැඩක් තමයි ඒක. It
By the
may
way,
take
Dilshara,
some time. Yeah.
you can recommend the course that is offered at STEMLink, right?
That is offered at STEM link, but I don't know whether this has been asked by a first year or a second year, because I really hope this has been asked by a first year. So for the first year, Anuga, yeah, thank you for telling that. But for the first years, I can't recommend our course as well, because for that y'all need some sort of an knowledge on Java and some sort of a little bit understanding about programming. Like y'all should have programmed for at least 2 to 3 months to join for our course even. So y'all, that's why I said y'all can't learn algorithms specifically for coding competitions. You have to learn algorithms as a proper uh, theory. Okay, it's not like learning certain subjects for A levels, like learning certain theories in uh, for A levels, because y'all can forget about complex numbers and then y'all can learn about permutations and combinations. Those are two completely different parts, right? And then again y'all can forget about another like linear algebra or something, and then y'all can learn integration and differentiation. Again, two different concepts. But when it comes to programming, all the algorithms and everything are being connected together. So it's very hard to tell what to learn and what not to learn. So you have to learn the whole theory together and apply them properly. So learn algorithms and data structures for your own experience. But before you get into algorithms and data structures, you need to be a little bit comprehended with programming knowledge. So if this is a first year guy, please get thorough with programming, and then let's go to data structures and algorithms. If this is a second year person, a wonderful foundation, you can come to the STEM link course. Can we start? How can a first year L4 student become a professional programmer? Vague. I don't know what does a professional programmer is, because every programmer has its own unique ability. Some programmers are good at architecture in the question. Some programmers are good at finding out the relevant algorithms and coding. Some programmers are better at building their own algorithms and coding. Some people have all the algorithms in their mind, they have theory in their mind, their memory run down the algorithms like very fast, like on static algorithms which they have learned, and they can apply it. Another set of programmers I have seen, they can create their own algorithms more faster than them trying to think a standard algorithm. So they would create their own algorithm and they would code. And there's another set of programmers who can architect the problem in a very nicer manner so that everyone can work on their own chunks. So how to become a professional programmer? I would say, first of all, be very familiar with a programming language, mostly a strictly typed programming language, Java, TypeScript, like that. And then you have to definitely learn design patterns, data structures, and algorithms. So how thorough you know about data structures and algorithms, the better you would become a programmer. A programmer per se, a web, like a problem-solving programmer, not a web programmer. A web programmer is a different sort of a person who builds websites, who builds backends. For that, you need the technological understanding other than the programmatical and mathematical knowledge. But for a very die-hard programmer, you have to be very thorough with data structures and algorithms.
And also, so they have to identify their own skill set, right? Like
Exactly.
the field in which they are proficient in, basically.
That's the
Like you
thing.
said.
So if y'all are into cloud computing, maybe data structures and algorithms would not be very fully beneficial. It's always beneficial wherever you go. DSA is completely beneficial. I mean, y'all may find some way arounds to skip certain things and automate and go through the cloud computing or DevOps track. But it's a basic for everyone to have. But for hardcore programmers who want to solve like a specific level problem at a specific point, then DSA is very important. Then again, as Ranagu said, that depends on the pathway that you plan to follow. Is C language good for the computation? Any language is good for the computation. C is good. C sharp is a very good language that you are. I don't know whether C as in C sharp or C++. Do we need to follow solid principles, or is it okay to go with our own way? Solid principles may not be very much important, because you are not being expected to have a very clean architecture, because they check the runtime mainly. They don't try to see the clean coding stuff. They just check whether the code is been running in the given timeline. So I'll show you another important aspect along with that question. Any other questions? How can we solve programming questions with a time limit? Since y'all are beginners, don't forget about the time. Okay, focus on what you can do. If you ask from me, honestly, I can't even solve all the questions in the extreme competition within the given time limit. Not because there's not enough time, because after a certain question, you may get completely stuck. Okay, you would be blank. You can't even understand the question. Can you use internet? Yeah. Yeah. Any other questions? Okay, that's all. We can go back to the session. So hope that benefited some of you. So that's why I didn't wait until the last moment to take Q&As. Okay. So now let's start speaking about algorithms in a more deep manner. So this is the part that I said, this is not only for the extreme competition, this is for your life, for you all as programmers. This is good to know what sort of algorithms are there in the computer science field. Number one, we have sorting algorithms. So what are sorting algorithms? As I said, there are data structures. So this is a simple data structure, which is a list. So what will happen is we would have a list which has 5 here, 4 here, 7 here, 1 here, 2 here, and 10 here. So our requirement is to sort this in the ascending order. So even though we can do it by hand easily, if we try to do that using a computer, that may take a specific amount of time, right? Since computers are very developed, you may not even notice the time that a computer take to solve this sort of a very simple sort of a data structure. But think about a data structure which is having billions of data, right? It is having like trillions of data in its data structure, and you're trying to sort these trillions of data. And depending on the algorithm, it might take either 10 seconds to solve the problem, or it might take like 1 decade to solve the problem. I'm not exaggerating. If you all learn the time complexities of algorithms, you all may understand what I'm telling is true. Either it's going to take 10 seconds, and sometimes it may take 10 years to solve the problem as well. This is not over exaggeration.
One best example is ChatGPT, right?
Yeah.
It sorts through like billions of data and it comes up with answers within seconds.
A good example is ChatGPT and Bard. Okay. ChatGPT has a computational cost of 30 cents for every query y'all are making. So y'all think ChatGPT algorithm is efficient? No, guys. It's Bard. So for ChatGPT, even though the time complexity is less, but again, the computational cost is very high. So 30 cents for every query that you type. You can't believe it in rupees. It's like 50 to 60 rupees. For every query that you type, that's the computational cost. It goes. And their whole 20 billion funds are over because they have some unoptimized algorithms to perform specific tasks. But on the other hand, Google, they are very optimized. They have very optimized algorithms, and their computational cost is way less. So the idea is you all have to understand data structures. Having the proper data structure is very important when you all are coding. Okay. Yeah, I can send you a way to contact me. Okay, so sorting algorithms, hope you all got an answer. It's simple, right? It's simply sorting any array depending on the task it's been given. Even we can strings, we can sort them, right? So in the alphabetical order, we have Alto, Guru, Python, Google, Java. So there's no other string with A. So Alto straight away comes here. But Guru and Google, we have two G's. So now you go to the second place, and then we have Java. So Java is also straightforward, it comes here. And then we have Google and Guru. So here you go to second character, and then you check U here. Here it's O. O comes, so I don't know why they have put Guru in front. I don't know, I think this is not sorted properly. But if you sort this, the story should be something like that. So the Google should come forward. After that, it should be Guru, and finally it should be Python some way. So G and J, that depends on the alphabetical order. So this is about sorting. And then I'm going to start speaking about searching algorithms. So as I said, now we have a data structure. Now the data is being stored in this sort of a list. Now we are being given to search a specific data in the data structure. So here we have 78. So one way that we can search for 78. So right now I'm teaching y'all a one algorithm that y'all might be learning in the second year. So learn properly. This is a simple thing even a first year can understand. Even a foundation student can understand. Okay. So here's this data structure over here. So you want to find 78. So let's count how many jumps that you need to make to find 78. Your code, first of all, goes to the first place, right? Whenever usually we start searching from the first index point. So we look here. It's not. Then we go here. It's not. Then we go here. It's not. Then we go here. It's not. It's not. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 operations would take. But now what we are going to do is we are going to optimize this. We are going to use binary search algorithm to solve this problem. So how can we solve this problem? So binary search algorithm is very simple. First of all, you define a center point, right? So if you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So what we would do is 6 divided by 3. So third index point would be the selected value. So now you may be telling me, look here, a third index is 43, right? Therefore, now you would select 43 as the midpoint. Now, what we would do, we would first of all check whether 43 is the answer. No, we are looking for 78. Then what we would do is, since this array is sorted, so first of all, you need to take a sorted array. Yeah? You have to take a sorted array. So then only you can implement this binary search. If you have an unsorted array, you can't implement binary search. In order to do searching, the first thing we do is we search the array, right? We sort the array. That's the first thing we need to do. Without sorting, you can't do ever searching. So number one, the first step is sorting, then searching. Even if you have been provided in the competition with an unsorted array, first step you should do is sorting, not searching. Remember that. Okay. Therefore, first of all, if you are being given with an array like 21 is at last, 34 is in the middle, 57 is at the beginning, first of all, sort that. Second step, now this is sorted. Now we figured out 43 is the middle point. Now we are looking for 78. Now we are checking whether 78 is greater than 43 or less than 40. It is greater than 40. So is there any worth of searching this part anymore? No. So we can cross this part out. And then what we are going to do is we are going to only focus on this particular 3 cells. Now again, we pick the center point. So 1, 2, 3, there's only 3 cells. So 3 divided by 2, it's 1.5, which means we round it up. So it's 2. So 66 becomes the middle point. Now again, we check whether the 66 is equal to the checking value 78. No. Now we are checking whether 78 is greater than 66 or less than 66? It's greater than 66. So do we need to spend more time on looking at the left side? No. So we cut down whatever that's in the left side further. So now we are on left off with 66 and 78. So 2 divided by 2, it's 1. So we go with here because we start off with counting from 0. In programming, you all know, we don't start counting with 1. We start counting with 0, right? So here it has picked 78 as the middle. That depends on what you want to select, okay? You can start selecting, if it's an even number, you can select the left side or the right side. That doesn't impact the algorithm. So now you found out 78 because that is the center point. So let me show you all again with a different value. Let's try to search for 34. So now we are having the whole tree over here, whole data structure over here. We come to the center point. 43 is the center point, right? We are here. We are going to check whether 43 is equal to 34. No. Is 43 less than 34 greater than, is 43 less than 34 or greater than 34? It's greater than, so 34. But then again, you can eliminate this part. Actually, the question you should ask is whether 34 is less than 43 or greater than 43. It's less than 43. Therefore, you can eliminate this part. So now you are only looking for this side. So now we are having 1, 2, 3. 3 divided by 2. It's 1.5. So we would round up, which means we are coming to here. And now we are going to check whether the center value is 34. Yes, it's 34. The operation is done. So the idea is, if you go through the general methodology of searching, you may have to go like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like this. But if you go in this splitted manner, you can reduce the time from a very huge amount. So that is why we use these sort of optimized searching algorithms in order to solve problems. Now, some intelligent or a smart guy who's watching this session right now may be thinking, so if you want to look for 21, the easiest methodology is going in the general manner, right? Because the first step you keep itself, you are in the correct place. But when we are selecting algorithms, we are not only selecting algorithms for the best possible case, but we are selecting algorithms for the worst possible case as well. So let's say you are having a data structure with billion numbers. So if you want to find out a number which is in closer to the billionth point, you have to go through one by one in order to find that whatever the number in the billionth position or somewhere close to the billionth position. But if you go through this binary search methodology, every time you are halving what you are supposed to search. If you are having 100 data, you are halving it to straight away 50, and then 25, and then 12, and then 6, and then 3. So you'll have to see how much we are halving the amount of things that we are supposed to search. So a billion would become 500 million, then it would become whatever, the 250 million. Likewise, you keep on halving, and even billion numbers could be sorted within, I think, 15 to 18 operations. Just do the math and see. You would be searching like billion numbers by 17 to 20 operations. But if you want to search a billion number in a normal methodology, you have to do billion operations. So that is the secret of knowing a searching algorithm. Okay. So you all may have to use searching algorithms when you all are dealing with questions. And then we have the greedy algorithm. So why do we use greedy algorithm, guys? So let's say you all are having a point A and you all are having a point J, right? You all need to visit from point A to point J. So for each node over here, we call this B, D, E, F, H as nodes in programming. So from one node to another node, they have given a weight as well. We can call it distance, whatever the terminology you like to use. Okay. So now the idea here is we have A and B. So B, E, E, H, J, we can reach to J in that sort of a manner. So there are multiple ways that we can reach to J. But the question what they're asking is, by looking at these given distances or weights or whatever, what is the shortest way that we can reach to J? So in order to reach to J, you need to, perform certain additions and figure out what is the most shortest path. And I don't know whether you all are aware of, this is the same way that Google Maps is giving you the shortest, not the shortest, but maybe the shortest pathway, maybe the best pathway. So when it comes to best pathway, this weight is not only about the distance, but it may be about the time that it's consuming to reach from A to B as well. So by considering the time and the distance with a certain calculation here, they are defining a weightage, and that weightage is being given to here. But if you're asking from Google regarding the shortest pathway, then it's only considering about the distance. So it's going to put the distance as the value to here, and then it would go through different roads that you can reach the particular destination, and it's going to give you the shortest destination, that shortest pathway that you can reach to a particular destination. And they are using a greedy algorithm in Google Maps. There are lots of other algorithms that they may be using as well, but greedy algorithm is also one major algorithm that they are using in Google Maps for us to facilitate with shortest or the best path. So I hope in the process when I'm teaching, you all may start understanding how algorithms are important for us as programmers. So if I told you to solve this question right now, if you all don't have an understanding about shortest pathway algorithms, you all may have to develop an algorithm by yourself. You'll have to write on your paper, and you have to keep on, trying different algorithms to figure out the answer for this. But the good part about learning data structures is, in data structures and algorithms courses, they teach you how to implement a shortest path algorithm. And that is a universal algorithm which you can apply for any problem that requires this sort of a solution. So you all know what to do actually. Only thing that you all need to have is you all need to run in your mind and understand what sort of algorithm that I'm supposed to implement. And once you know it, it's just a matter of copying and pasting. You can't just copy and paste algorithms like that. You all need to optimize it. But you all have the template in your mind. You all don't have to think again from the beginning how to do this. But right now, without having data structures and algorithms understanding, this is a whole abstract thing for you. You all don't even know how to store this image data in a data structure. First of all, you all need to store all this data. This is a visual data. So how are you all planning to store these A, B, C sort of nodes in a data structure? How are you planning to store these distances between A and B in a specific data structure? And how are you going to match them? Like A and this 4 means A and B distance. This 3 means A and C distance. How are you going to map them in a specific data structures? You all don't have an idea. So that is why data structures and algorithms are that much important for you all. Lots of people try to eliminate that module and pick a computer science bachelor's. That is fine if your intention is different, but if your intention is to be a competitive programmer, skipping data structures and algorithms that's a huge problem. Okay, this is application of, or else a question that you all might get from greedy algorithms. Finally, you all have graph algorithms. So graph algorithms are somewhat similar to greedy algorithms as well. But in graph algorithms also, we have, you all may get questions from depth first search and breadth first search theories. So let me briefly tell you what's breadth first search and depth first search. So what is breadth first search is, you pick a specific point. Let's say here, you pick a specific point and then you search all the nodes that are connected to it. And then once those two nodes are finished, you start searching the nodes that are connected to each of this. This one, this one, this one. This one also, you would go until this one. And then again, you would start searching from here, 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 here. So you are covering the breadth first of all. You are not going deep. You are not going from here to here to here to here to here. You are not going to go to the deep. You are going to cover the breadth and keep going down. So that is what we call breadth first search. So you are going to first cover the first layer here. That's done. And then the second layer. Done, done. And then the third layer. So that is breadth first search. Depth first search is different. You start from here. You pick one point. And then you go to the point that is being connected to that point. And then you go here. And from here to here. From here to here. Here to here. You keep going to the depth until you come back to a place where you already visited. Right. You came that point. Now the operation is stopped. Right. So that is what you call depth first search. So let's say you have a certain value to search. Let's say there's 100 over here. And you are starting off from here. You need to search for 100. So you need to figure out the most optimum algorithm that you are supposed to do the searching in the given graph. So depth first search and breadth first search would vary in optimization depending on the graph. So you have to look at the graph and figure out, am I going to go ahead with depth first search or breadth first search? So that's a decision that you would make, because time that it consumes to solve the problem is very important. Why am I telling it important? Let's go back to the place where y'all are supposed to code. It is here. So y'all may see for every question they give you a time limit. This time limit is not the time limit for y'all to code, but this is the time limit that they give to run this process. So if it takes more than 1500 milliseconds to run this code and give the output, your tests are gonna fail and you're not gonna get marks. So they are gonna only give this certain memory. Not only memory that you all have to not only time you all have to concern, you have to concern about the memory as well. When you are storing data in the data structures, you can't just store and keep them and finish off your question. Once you all are storing certain data, you need to remove the other data as well, the unwanted data. In Python, that is being done for you because that's a high level, like very, very high level programming. It's like a higher programming level. In Java also, garbage collection is being solved by Java by itself through the runtime. So you don't have any problem with Java as well. People who are coding in C++, this guy over here is a problem for you guys. And even in Python, if you don't use proper data structures and if you don't use proper data structures to store this data, this value may be exceeded as well, and you all may get memory limit errors as well. But mostly that you all would be encountering if you all write an algorithm would be the time limit. If you all don't properly optimize your algorithm to run in the time limit, then this problem may occur. Hope that part is also clear for you guys. So now only y'all are starting to understand, how complex these things are, not that childish as we try to see in our bachelors. So finally, I'm coming to a somewhat a small thing. So before you start a problem, what are the things you are supposed to do? So first of all, understand type of the problem. Okay, whether it's a sorting problem, whether it's a data structure problem, whether it's a problem that you need to implement your own algorithm, whether it's a searching problem, whether it's a greedy algorithm problem, whether it's a graph problem, you need to analyze it. So you can only have sorting problems, then searching problems, then data structure problems, then greedy algorithm problems, or else the problems that you have to code by yourself. Okay. So those are the sort of problems that y'all might get. So make sure that whenever you get a problem, y'all have to, first of all, understand what sort of a problem that I am dealing with. In the second level, what y'all have to do is, y'all have to try to figure out the size of the input. If the input is not that very huge, then you don't have to use, very complex level data structures. I mean, why? If the input is not very complex, you don't have to go for very complex level data structures. But if you are having sort of a like a huge graph level input, then I would prefer you to go ahead with a more complex level data structure. So the time you spend to build a data structure also you could save if you can understand whether this problem requires like a very heavy programming, very heavy data structures, or whether this problem requires a very simple data structure like array list or inbuilt data list to store data. So that is about looking at the size of the input. And finally, you all have to think about the time and the space constraints as I showed you all in the interface. So there you all show that there's a time limit that's been given, there's a space constraint that's been given. So even though sometimes you get the same output, your test solutions may not pass. Why? Because it's exceeding the time. So you all have to consider that part as well. So after having a rough idea on the problem, what you all have to do. So this is, once you all get a problem, you all have no idea whatsoever, then you all first of all go through this process. Understand the type of the problem, consider the size of the input, consider the time and space constraints. And then you all have to go for the next level. Now you all have a rough idea about the problem, like you all know shape what you all need to do, but not in a thorough manner. Now what you have to do is identify the different components of the problem. What are the different parts of the problem that you need to solve? So I'll go for a very simple example after the demo, after this to a demo and show you all like how you all can identify the components of a problem. But for now, understand, a problem is not just a problem. There are different components in the problem. You have to take the input properly to your code. That is 101. Okay, if you all can't take the input, you all can't do anything. So taking the input itself is a challenge. Number two, storing those data in a data structure. Number two. Number three, let's say you all are having a searching problem, but before you search, you need to sort. So you need to understand sorting is also another component. And then you all have the search part. Then searching is another component, whether we are going to use bubble sort, merge sort, likewise. Final component is what they're expecting in the output. So output, you already give it as a print statement. So in the print, what are they expecting? So how to structure my code according to the expected printed answer. So then you print the answer in the given place according to that. So likewise, you need to break down problem into different components. Try to find the sub problems that are independent of each other. As I said, taking the input is a sub problem that you all can work on it. And then finally, you have to look for the patterns that you can break down the problem into. So let's say I gave you all two answers. So you all saw the problem, you all saw that this is a searching problem. So that's the pattern you identified, and you all quickly came up, okay, I need to sort this and then I need to search this. So these are the two main things that you are supposed to do when solving the problem. Taking the input and giving the output, you may get familiar to it once you go through like a 1 or 2 questions. But then understanding the core is the hardest part. So in order to do that, you have to understand the pattern of the problem. Like what sort of a pattern it's trying to follow. So even in a data structures, so you have to see whether it is a graph data structure that they're expecting, or whether it's a simple array list that they're expecting. So different patterns you can identify in the problem that you need to address accordingly. So this is the theoretical part that I wanted to discuss with you guys. So I can go for another question round, and at last I can show you all a simple demo. People who asked how y'all can contact me. So y'all can go to my LinkedIn account. I'll post the link here. So Ranuga, meanwhile, you can share the screen and I can take some questions.
Okay, Dish. Yeah. So,
So
yeah. Uh, Thank you so much, Dilshara, for that insightful and wonderful session on like how to approach problems and like what are the so for a first year student what they should know about and what they should start with. So I think a lot of people understood the gravity of the the industry that they are planning to enter into. So I think that's really great. So thank you so much for that.
all right.
So, guys, it's now time for the Q&A session. And Deshara, I invite you back to the stage to address any questions our viewers
Yeah.
may have. So,
So
our first question is how a first year student with basic Python knowledge prepare? Is practicing questions enough, or
yeah.
should we learn DSA? Any tips to learn DSA in this short time period?
Okay. So let me give the answer for this. So before that, yeah, I posted my LinkedIn account, so y'all can go there and shoot a request there, so I can accept, so y'all can discuss with us. And also for the people who want to be in touch with all the technologies and everything, so I'm posting the LinkedIn Instagram page for STEMlink. Sorry, Instagram page for STEMlink. Y'all can give a follow there. So we would be posting all the uh, like upcoming technologies and all the updates about us. They are at STEMlink Instagram, so you can go and hit a like for follow for there as well. Right, the promotional break is over. All the first years run. So it's like this. Uh, don't try to learn DSA in a short time of a period. That's not something that I can recommend. But this is what you can do. You can start practicing questions. So I'm going to show you, I'll show you after this questionnaire where you can start practicing questions. But if you're in a hurry, you can go to HackerRank, LeetCode, and if there are three places, let me share with you guys. So for all these places, y'all can go and y'all can start trying out questions. The best place to start off is HackerRank. In HackerRank, there's easy, medium, intermediate level question, easy, medium, and hard level questions. So pick easy level questions and see whether you can solve a one. Today, I'll show you all a one small demo as well. Other than that, what are other things you all can do? Just learn the basics thoroughly. Every day go to HackerRank, try to solve one or two problems until you get familiar with programming. And the best way to learn programming is by getting familiar. I don't inspire a first year student to learn DSA straight away, because DSA won't make sense for y'all if y'all didn't come through problems. If y'all don't know what happens when you have a nested for loop, at the first place I can't think of y'all finding the importance of data structures, because you'll have to understand having nested for loops together would create a huge impact on the time that it's running the program. So in order to understand those things, you need to be thorough with programming first of all, because program with a purpose. Don't program because someone else tell you to do. Always, this is a career advice that I can give to all 147 people who are in this meeting. Don't ever learn something because someone else is learning. First of all, see whether is this going to solve any problem for me. Always try to have a creative mind and try to come up with different solutions. Okay, let's say tomorrow you want to build a healthcare system that produces a specific result. Okay, now that is your idea. Now see how you can provide the specific output. Let's say you want to have a proper communication system between the nurses, the doctors, hospital community, and the patients. And forget about all the complexity, doctor and the hospital and the patient. Okay, so patient puts an appointment at Nine Wells University, Nine Wells Hospital at 9 p.m., but the doctor is getting late until 10 p.m. So what the doctor is going to do is there should be a certain mechanism that doctor can inform the hospital community around 8 p.m. or 7 p.m. that this fellow is getting late. So he informs the hospital community. So the hospital community directly sends the message to the patients who have booked the appointment, or else it doesn't have to come to the hospital. It could straight away go through the hospital gateway to the patient. Y'all can start brainstorming solutions, okay? And then now you have a proper solution in your mind. Now you are going to figure out, how am I going to code this? Okay, I need a front end. Now what should I learn? I should learn HTML. Okay, I know basic HTML. HTML is fine. This is a back-end application or a front-end application. This is a front-end application, back-end application or a front-end application. So front-end is not much important. Okay, then you start thinking about the back-end. Okay, now I only know Java. So through Java, how can I build an API? Okay, to build an API, now I need to learn Spring Boot. Now start learning Spring Boot by having that intention in your mind. That is how I started learning things. I never learned anything because someone else told me to learn. I wanted to make my codes, like make my websites load faster, especially the backend functionality. So what did I do? I learned data structures, so the outputs would be given to clients as soon as possible. So that is the intention of learning data structures. Don't learn data structures for a very simple level of intention, because you can't learn data structures like that. It needs discipline. You have to go through around 20 hours to 40 hours of learning curve. Even students who enroll for our courses, we take them for like, good 20 to 30 hours of learning curve, because without that, we can't do this. Yeah. If we have 3 participants, do the 3 participants have? Sandaru, are you here?
Yes.
No, one
So
single answer. Ne?
yeah, we have 3 participants. Do the 3 participants have to submit 3 different answers? If you are a participant of a team, the team should submit only 1 answer. So you don't need to submit three answers. So the team can submit only 1 answer. So,
Exactly.
So there's another question also, I guess. How many questions are normally asked in IEEE Extreme?
So yeah, I said this in the awareness session as well. So every 1 hour, there will be 2 to 3 questions added. So that means like at the starting time, you will be having around 3 questions. So the competition starts at 5:30 a.m. So in the 6:30 a.m., you will be having another 2 more questions added. So each and every hour, 2 to 3 questions will be added. So this is a 24-hour competition. So you'll be having around 48 to 60 different types of questions. So it's roughly around 40 to 50, but it depends whether the question is hard or not. If the question is hard, they will add only just 1 question per hour. So that's how the competition works.
And Sandaru, like the first question that is being posted in the first hour, you can answer it until the last hour, like until the 23rd hour, right?
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
So there's
Can teammates
question.
use different languages during the competition? So you all have to understand, at the end of the day, you are giving a one single answer by one person's account. I think from the captain's account. I don't know. Is it from? Can any teammate submit something?
No, anyone can submit from a team.
Anyone can submit. So if one person make the submission, others don't have to make the submission.
So what you have to do is so every time there will be 2 to 3 questions per hour. One person can work on 1 question, another person can work on another question. So that's how the competition works. So you don't need to stick into one problem, try to get all 3 into one problem. It's not going to be efficient. So best thing is to just if someone gets an easy question, so one person can work for it, and if there's a medium to hard level question, 2% can work for it. So yeah, that's how the competition works.
Okay.
By the way, Dilshara, so from question to question, we can change the language that we use, right?
Yeah.
That is possible. Yeah. So there's another question. So do we have to submit the hours within the first relevant hour, or can we submit the answer even to the first question after 10 hours?
No. We answered it. You can answer it to 23rd. Do we for the faster run times? No. If you reach the benchmark, that's all.
So what? So if anyone doesn't know, like this is not being graded with how well do you code. So this is what tests with the test cases. So each and every question they have around 10 to like 12 test cases. So with the given inputs in the on in those test cases, the out should be coming up. So sometimes you may be having failed test cases as well. So if you go to the platform, you'll be see some tabs naming compilation, run input, and run examples. So what you have to do is type the code, click the compilation button, so the code will be compiled, and you have to run examples. So with the run examples, what they do is they run the test cases. So there'll be like 10 to 11 test cases running. So you can see what are the test cases that have failed. So that shows you how well you have coded and solve the question. So that's how the question works. No matter how well you have coded, you have to somehow get the relevant outputs to the inputs. So
That's the idea. Can we skip the questions if you don't understand?
yes.
Yeah, you all can
Yeah.
pick what question you all are going to code.
Yeah.
Does
There's another
participating in
question. Volunteering in competitions like code sprint benefit for first year students?
Yeah. So
That's, yeah, we
whoever
already
the
answered that. Yeah.
whoever the presidents and everyone who's there in the current batch, current committee are the ones who are volunteered in code sprint. So yeah, what are leading softwares to code? Use
You
code.
can use
Yes.
HackerRank, LeetCode, and there will be like two platforms that I introduced in the last session called Code Forces and Project Euler. So Project Euler is a very good platform if you are using mathematics a lot. And if you are a beginner, you can just start with LeetCode or HackerRank.
Yes, I'll through STEMlink, and I will today share some links. Okay, I'll do that course. I'll share some stories in STEMlink in a one run, and I'll send it to Sandru as well, so he can share it in the group as well. Will we get a certificate, participant certification? Yes.
Yes.
So if you all were able to code the one question, yes. If you can take the test results, if you can pass the test results for even a one single question, then you all may get a certificate. So at least you'll have to submit answers and get the correct answers for one single question.
Yeah, sometimes the first question might be just a print statement. So you have to just print hello extreme. So you'll get the participation certificate, or else they will just give a very simple problem like add two numbers. So there'll be an easy question in the first half.
That depends on your luck though. Last year, I think we had no questions that were easy. Every
Yeah.
question was tough, as I know. Like I had to spend around 1.5 hours to solve one single question. So yeah, it's very tough last time. So depends on your luck. Yeah, so that's all about it. Another person has asked how I can send me a way to. No, I'm very active in LinkedIn. So you all can drop a message on LinkedIn at any time. All our tutors and everyone are active at STEMlink, so y'all can message STEMlink straight away there. So yeah, nothing to worry. Okay, y'all can contact. I'll reply you as quick as possible. Website that you give access during the competition. The website that they give access during the competition, y'all would get all the links.
Yeah, but yeah, the thing is like we don't allow ChatGPT and other things because if you because the results would be given after like 4 to 5 weeks, so they will check whether you have done any kind of like a plagiarism or any kind of involving violating code of conduct. So the website we'll try to block it from our end. We did it in Aquathon, which is a hackathon that we organized like few months back. So we'll do the same with the Extreme as well. Yeah, can I get the recording of? Yeah, sure.
Yeah, you can get the recording. My
Yeah.
personal opinion, I don't think guys y'all can use ChatGPT and Bard to solve. Look, very different opinions. So, you know, I might. So personally, myself, I might not have any issue with somebody using a language model, but I don't think a language model could give the answers for the problems that are being given in the competition. They are very complex. Trust me, a language model can give a simple answer for like a simple algorithm you all get in the first year. Trust me, this is not that. So ChatGPT is not that smart enough to give answers like that, even if they're allowed to use large language models. So try it out. Try. I don't know if they don't allow, don't. But just try and see after coming home. I don't think still y'all would be able to answer a single question with LLM. I think that's correct, Sandhu.
Yeah, yeah,
What do you
yeah.
think?
So whatever. So anyway, ChatGPT won't give you like an accurate answer, but you can
Yeah,
some sort of an help. So when is the deadline
immediately.
to apply for IEEE Extreme? So we will be closing the deadlines on 10th because we have to finalize from our end with regards to competition. So official deadline would be 14, but we will be accepting all the registrations until 10th. So yeah, that's it. Can you do and show one simple question? I think Dilshara will do it at the later in the Q&A
Yeah,
session.
I'll show sample
Yeah,
question. As in, I'm not gonna code a IEEE extreme question. It's gonna take a
yeah,
huge
okay.
time.
Yeah.
I'll show
If
you.
my IDE has an extension that suggests lines when I type in that, so I think you mean GitHub Copilot, isn't it? So,
No, no, no. I think he's talking about another one. In VS Code, there's another one, Sadhu, as I
ah,
remember. I
yeah,
think
there's an
he's
extension for GitHub Copilot as well. So that's why
uh, Copilot.
so
It's not available to Sri Lanka, right? Is it available?
it is available for GitHub Student Developer Pack. So if you get Student Developer Pack, you can use GitHub Copilot. Yeah, I think it won't be a problem. So it doesn't give any like an accurate answer for the questions. So it might give some coding snippets to as suggestions. So you can use. I'm a
I'm a
first year
first.
student. I'm participating at competition as a team with second year students. What is the best language for us to use? You can use any like either Java, Python, or any kind of like. Anyway, I think the session itself, DHR explain what are the benefits of using different languages. So yeah, you can get use of that. What
Yeah,
is the mode of participation decided? Is it decided means like we are accommodating both physical and online, so you can attend physical or you can participate in online, so doesn't matter.
right. At the end, let me quickly go for a. Since people are requesting, time is running as well, but yeah. Let me go for a simple question and show you all how to solve a very simple level question. Uh, I'm just gonna give you all the smell of it. I'm not gonna like go hardcore and solving like very hard questions. Let's take a very simple question like this. So this is hacker rank, guys. Y'all can go to hacker rank simply, or else y'all I'll put the direct link to visit for questions. Okay, don't worry. Right. So read the question. You are given. So here my main target is to explain y'all how to take a input from the terminal. So in the CS Academy also, y'all are having an input taking terminal, right? So my main intention is to show y'all how to input something and how to output something like properly according to the expected manner, so that y'all may not face errors like we faced back in last year, right? So please read the question carefully. You are given an N word. Some words may repeat. For each word, output its number of occurrences. The output order should correspond with the input order of the appearance of words in sample. So basically, what they are saying is there are sometimes repetitive words. So you all can see this B C D E F. B C D E F is being repeated twice, right? So what it's saying is for every word, we need to output its repetition, but also it should be in the order. So BCDEF, you first saw it here, right? So even though it's repeated again, you should output its count at first, because that is the first value that you are coming through. And then other two values, you faced it afterwards. So for them, you type 1 1 because they have only been typed one time. And also here's a 4. So what is this 4? That is what I want to tell you guys. I said, so here the sum of the lengths of all the okay, so this is the input. The first line contains integer n. The next n lines each contain a word. So you have to match this n and this n over here. What does it try to communicate to you guys? It's trying to tell you, look here, after the first line, you are having another 4 lines over here. So you have to only loop for 4 times to get all the inputs. So basically they are giving you a hint mentioning that in the first line, they are giving you how many other lines you would be having to loop. You can't loop for unlimited times, then your code would never finish. And in programming, actually, I very recently discovered that you can't stop taking inputs if you don't know how many inputs are there you are taking. Therefore, they are giving you the input here, how many inputs are there after the first line. So you have to keep that in mind. And then what you can do is you can use a very simple code line to take the input. So how you can take the input? By using this simple code line. So you have this input terminology over here. And since we are first taking 4 as an input, I'm pretty sure that's an integer situation. So I'm wrapping this input from a int this thing, right? So then I'm pretty sure that the first input that I'm getting is a number. So after taking this one, how many other lines are left? It's gonna be the same amount as here. So I know that I have to loop for this number of times to get the rest of the inputs. Remember, because in another test case, they would be giving 6 inputs. So this value is 6. So you can't hard code 4. You have to definitely get that value as a variable. And in the second level, what you have to do is you have to think of a data structure. How am I going to store the times that each of these lines are being called? So there is a line and there is a time that it has been called. So BCDF, it's been called 2 times. So for BCD, it has been called 1 time. So for BCDEF, it has been called again 1 times. So there should be a match in between number of times and the word. Number of times and the word. So BCDEF 2, ABCDEFG 1, BCDE 1. So you have to think of a data structure. How can I store the relevant times it's been called with the string? So for that, I decided to have a dictionary. So this is the basic structure of a dictionary. So in this dictionary, I can store values as pairs. So what are the value pairs? I'm going to store BCDEF as the key, and I'm going to store how many times it has been called as the integer. So that's going to be the value. First years, you all may not understand this very thoroughly, but I'm simply telling you, I'm simply pasting the code over here. Okay, this is a very simple code. So basically what I'm doing is, as I said, I have to take inputs how many times again. So first of all, I took the first input over here, but after that I have to take all the other 4 inputs. To take the all other 4 inputs, I can use the for loop that would loop in the range of this number. And then after that, for each time I would be taking an input and I'm checking whether that word is already existing in this number array. So if it's already existing in this number array, I should not add that number again. But if it's not existing in this number array, so currently it's not having anything. So I'm gonna add that number into the dictionary and by putting 1. So BCDEF, initially I am putting it by putting 1 over here. And then for the second time, I get ABCDEFG. And then I am checking whether it's in the number array. No, I put that and I put 1. BCDE, I check whether it's there in the number array. No, I put that and I add 1. And BCDEF, I check whether it's there in the number array. Yes, it is there in the number array. Therefore, what I do is I select that key over here in this number array and I increase that value from 1. So initially it was 1 and I'm going to add another. So now I'm having a data structure which contains the number of values. And just see what is the output it's expecting. Output 2 lines. On the first line, output the number of distinct words from the input. So here there are only 3 distinct words, right? Not 4. because this has been repeated twice. So in the first line, I need to print that. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to print len. So what is len? I'm going to print basically the length of the dictionary. So my length of the dictionary is 3. B, C, D, E, F, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, B, C, D. And then it's telling to print how many times each of these lines are being printed, are being typed. So for that, I can use another simple for loop, and I can loop through this thing, and I can print them. So that is the very simple basic idea what I wanted to give. So I will show you that code as well. So I'm using a simple for loop to loop through the dictionary over here, and I am printing the values. So here also there's a trick. If you all are just printing without using this syntax over here, what will happen? This two would print here, this one would print somewhere around here, and the one would again, and the other one would also print after that line. It would not print like this in a single line if you didn't use this specific syntax. You use this syntax only, all these things would be printed in a single one line. So once I run this code, what will happen is it's gonna give me the output. It says, congratulations, all your test cases are being passed. So this is how you have to test out coding in particular HackerRank or whatever the software that you are using. So you can submit code, either run code. So if you run code, you can see the output here. See, the input is this, output is this. If you all got a wrong answer, let's say y'all didn't put this statement over here. Y'all didn't put the end over here. Y'all type like this. So if you all run code, it's gonna say you have not passed the test case. See, because input is this, my output is this, the expected output is. So that is what I wanted to mention, you guys. So yeah, hope y'all got explain the 11th line. So it's a little bit now in dictionaries, you can give a statement mentioning if the word is not there in the dictionary, you can output a specific hard-coded value. That is what I'm outputting. So that's a dictionary concept that you need to learn. Okay. Yeah, so that is about that. If you all want to learn Python for the first years, I conducted the free session for you guys. So still, I don't think there are slots free for enrollment. Very sad. So next time, if I launch a Python course, I'll let you all know. I don't think we have free slots anymore. So, but learn Python from somewhere. If you all want to learn Python, if you all want more guidance, just contact me. I'll see what I can do. At least I can suggest you some other course even. So yeah, learn Python first years properly, learn programming properly through Python, learn about errors, learn how to debug the problems. Second years, start learning about a strictly typed language. I know you all know Java, but I'm pretty sure you all don't know the power of Java. So in the object-oriented programming course, I taught that for you guys, and also others. Please, second years, take this serious. Come to the competition and understand what y'all are really falling into, and this is what they expect in the industry. So please get the reality there, and go back to your university and start learning things with a little bit of serious sense. Okay. Yeah. So Ranuga, over to you. That's all about my session.
Brilliant. Before we wrap up the Q&A session, I would like to thank each and every one of you for all the insightful questions that you asked from Dilshara and Sandharu today. And of course, thank you to Dilshara and Sandharu for your, it's simple but extensive and informative answers. Thank you very much. And Dilshara, thank you so much for sharing your invaluable expertise and how to approach the coding problems, and going into detail about the algorithms, and there's a lot to talk about, so I'll just keep it short. So thank you so much, and we are truly fortunate to have you here with us. So on behalf of the IEEE student branch of IIT, I'm honored to present to you with a token of appreciation, a symbol of our immense gratitude for the invaluable knowledge and experience you shared with all of our participants today. Thank you so much. Now it's essential to acknowledge our invaluable partners without whom this event would not have been possible. Our role partner, Cosent, specializes in UX research and design, prototyping, building SaaS and mobile products, and cloud engineering. Our bronze partner, WSO2, offers a suite of application development and IAM technologies available as open source or SaaS, enabling enterprises to create digital experiences quickly, easily, and securely. Next, our workshop partner, IFS, offers award-winning solutions to businesses aiming to excel in customer service, especially during their moment of service. Next, our technical partner, Luxuriates, known as the bestseller of Apple products, who offers smartphones, smartwatches, cameras, and other home appliances at an affordable and reasonable price. Our digital media partner, Now You See Me, provides diverse digital media services, including photography for events, as well as video production services such as aerial, VFX, and commercials. And of course, our knowledge partner, STEMlink, focuses on delivering competency in subjects like science, mathematics, language skills, and information technology in accordance with school textbooks. And finally, our venue partner, ExactPro, offers quality assurance services and related software development with focus on test automation for trading systems and post-trade infrastructures. We extend our heartfelt gratitude to each of these companies for collaborating with us and helping to bring our ideas to life. As we have come to the end of our session, I would like to extend my sincere gratitude to each and every one of you for joining us today. Your participation is greatly appreciated. It is our hope that today was a valuable and insightful experience, and that each and every one of you has some understanding about the key fundamentals of programming and how you could approach coding problems and come out on top. Once again, thank you for joining us and have a pleasant and restful night ahead.